Now, with more on the look ahead is Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn. Senator, great to see you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Sure. Yes.
So,
thank you.
Let's say, hypothetically speaking, they get this out of the House, although Ralph Norman told us right now there are more than 3 no votes. So he's questioning whether or not it does get done by the end of the weekend. But what would you expect once it gets to the Senate? Do you believe you will be able to identify those $2 trillion in cuts and move this along quickly?
Yes, we do. We've been working on this for quite a while, Maria, and we are determined to make certain that we end this push to increase taxes on the American people, which is what the Democrats are trying to do. We want to make certain there's money to continue deportations, to restore our dominance in energy, to rebuild our military, and to prevent the largest tax hike in history on the American people, and we will cut spending. We will find those $2 trillion in savings for the American people, and I look forward to the House finishing their work, sending us a document so that we can put it through the bird bath and get to work on it, pass it, get it to President Trump's desk, and make certain that we keep our commitment to the American people. They voted to cut what the federal government spends. They voted to reduce the size of government, and they voted for President Donald Trump and his agenda.
Well, I know that there aren't anyone in the Senate. There isn't anyone in the Senate, GOP Senate, that really has a passion or cares much about lifting the SALT cap. Is that going to be an issue for the senators?
Well, you know, I can say this. I know that I'm glad it's not an issue for the state of Tennessee because we don't have a state income tax. The question is, why would you want to spend or give the ability for blue states to spend more money in their states? You have to just look at what is happening with big blue states like New York and Pennsylvania and Illinois, for goodness sakes. These people are all moving to states like Tennessee and Texas and Florida because they want to get away from high taxes. President Trump was right about SALT in 2017, and he's right about it today.
Yeah. Senator, let me switch gears and ask you about the money allocated to the border and, of course, the administration's crackdown on illegal migration. You've got a new op-ed out on the administration's crackdown. You say ICE arrests are keeping Tennesseans safe as crime rates are on the decline. You also have a new bill banning the birth tourism loophole used by thousands of foreigners every year. Tell us about it.
Yes, indeed. Banning this birthright tourism is important to do. You have brokers who are advertising and pushing for people in countries like Russia and China. And women, when they are pregnant, they can pay a fee to the broker, come into the U.S., live in a housing that is provided for them, have the baby, get the birth certificate, social security number, go back to their country, send the child here for education as a U.S. citizen, and then when that child hits age 21, they can begin the chain migration. Now, we know that there are at least 33,000 births per year that take place under this program, and we also know that this is an industry that is making tens of millions of dollars every year. We need to shut it down, and we need to eliminate this ability to exercise this birthright tourism. Our citizenship is not for sale to individuals that are doing this. I mean, we have our military that is hard fought and hard won these battles to keep us a free nation.
Yeah, I've got to tell you, this weekend I was so struck by Kash Patel, the new FBI director, Senator, who said to me that there's real trouble in Memphis when it comes to crime. Listen to Kash Patel and what he told me on Sunday. Watch.
Yes. But Memphis, Tennessee is the homicide capital of America per capita. Didn't know that. We have a problem there. We're now addressing it. We're rolling out one of our task forces in the state of Tennessee. But we also know that Ohio possesses the roadway system where the trafficking is through the roof just because of the interstates.
So, Senator, it's very concerning. What can you tell us about Memphis and the efforts to clean it up?
Yes, indeed. And when Director Patel came to me before he came to Judiciary Committee, we talked about this with Memphis and our concern there with the homicide rate. And he has been working with me ever since that point, and I am so grateful. And also to A.G. Bondi, who is focused on this issue with us. We know that there are gangs in Memphis. They are recruiting juveniles to commit carjacking, smash and grabs, home robberies, things of that nature. We had a U.S. attorney there who was not prosecuting these crimes and getting people into court. They were turning them back out. Because of that, the juvenile crime rate had escalated. So we have some legislation that Senator Hagerty and I have worked on for grants for local law enforcement. Cortez Masto and I have the After School Act to put money into programs where we can have kids participate in these enrichment programs from 2 to 6 o'clock in the afternoon, which is the time that juvenile crime spikes and that gangs are doing recruitment. We're committed, the FBI and the DOJ are committed to getting this crime rate down in Memphis and to making certain that we're addressing the needs of that community, and I'm grateful for their help and support in this effort.
Senator, you and Congressman John Molinar, who chairs the House Select Committee, are urging the Commerce and Defense Departments to investigate Otel Energy. It's a Chinese electric vehicle charging company with ties to the Communist Party and the People's Liberation Army, PLA. Tell us more about this.
Yes, indeed. This is a company that has its roots in Autel Intelligence and also their robotics company. And what we are trying to do is make certain that they are put on the entity list. As you know, Maria, and you've been so wonderful on this issue, the Chinese Communist Party has a stake in each of these companies. And when you are using components and chips and portions of your EV charging stations are coming out of China, we know that much of this is embedded with spyware. We also know that it captures data and it carries that data back to Beijing.
Wow.
So making certain that we put all of these related entities on the entity list and prohibit them from the U.S. marketplace is an important step. And Congressman Molinar and I, as we have worked on these issues with China, realize this is one that even though their sister companies like High Silicon and ZTE are on the entity list, and that those companies are providing to Autel EV, we need to put them on this list so that they're prohibited from the marketplace.
Yeah. Well, we just had a whole conversation about that with Roger Robinson Jr. Senator, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
You got it.
We'll be
Take
following
care.
your work, of course. Senator Marsha Blackburn. Stay with us. We'll be right back.